Another one.
Hey guys, I'm Shar and thank you for tuning into my channel. Today's video is a DIY of me making this beautiful tufted headboard. These types of headboards will run you anywhere from $200 on up, and I made mine for less than $100. So if you're interested in seeing how I made this easy tufted headboard, then keep on watching. All of the materials will be listed in the description box below. Don't forget to give this video a like and also share where you share your videos, and subscribe so I'll see you in the next video. So the first step is to attach your foam pad to the plywood using some spray adhesive. You want to be sure that the corners of the foam pad is lined up perfectly with the corners of the plywood, so you can be sure that the entire board is covered. And I'm just pressing it down with all this weight to be sure that it adheres securely to the plywood. I decided to use the foam mattress toppers instead of buying actual foam because this way it's much cheaper than buying the actual foam from a fabric store. I picked up the twin size pads, and I should have actually got them in the full size because I did get my plywood cut a little larger than usual so that it'll sit up higher on my wall. So because of that, I had to fill in the size of the foam, which you see on the first one on your left, but you'll also see me do it with this one in a moment. And I'm using 2 layers of foam so that my headboard can be a little bit more plush, but one will be perfectly fine to use as well. And I'm just repeating the same steps for this pad as I did for the first one that we laid down. So here's where I'll be cutting off the excess foam and using it to fill in that right side that's missing a layer. So I'm now wrapping the board with the batting, and this helps make the board flat and smooth in preparation for your fabric. You want to pull the batting nice and tight and then staple it into place, but please be careful not to pull it too tightly so that you will rip it. And you want to continue to do this process around the entire board until it's complete, and then cut off any excess batting. So now it's time for us to add our fabric, but I highly recommend ironing out any wrinkles in your fabric before attaching it, but of course this step is optional. So here you'll see me measuring out exactly where I want my buttons to go, which took a little bit of math, but once you decide how many rows you want and how many buttons you want per row, then you can figure out your measurements, if that makes any sense. And I'm just using a marker to place a small dot where I know I want to place my buttons. And I realized once I got my center row of markings done that maybe it'd be smarter to wait until I had the fabric actually stapled down. So that's what I did once I finished with the center row. So just make sure you guys don't do your markings until you actually get your fabric stapled down in the back. So I'm attaching the fabric to the board the exact same way that I did the batting, making sure to pull it nice and tightly. This will also help give it a better tufted look when we begin doing the tufting, and you just want to continue the entire board until it's done all the way around. So your board should look a little something like this once all your fabric is stapled down and you've cut off all the excess. So now that I have all of my markings in place, I can go ahead and begin my tufting. You're going to start by placing your washer over your screw, and this helps prevent the fabric from going over top of your screw. And then you just want to drill it through your markings, making sure to begin with the center of your board. That's very important. You want to finish the entire row first, that's your center row, and then move on to your edges, making sure your screws aren't too long for the thickness of your board to prevent them from coming straight through. You don't want that at all. And this is how it's looking so far with the center and edges done. Now I just have to do the 2 rows in the middle. And here it is, all completed with the nice tufted look to it. So now is the fun part. Time to glam up your headboard with the buttons of your choice. And I'm going to be using the E6000 glue to attach mine. You can also use a hot glue gun to do this as well. So I'm going to be doing this by placing a small dab of the E6000 glue into the hole and pressing the buttons into there securely and just letting them dry and cure overnight. And I'm going to do this to each and every hole on the headboard until it's completed. And here's what the headboard looks like all completed, and I absolutely love it. I will come back in another video once my husband attaches the legs and we put it up in our room. Of course, attaching the legs is totally optional. You can place it up on your wall just like this and it will be totally fine. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time. I'm Shar, and thank you for tuning into my channel today. So I recorded my very first try on haul, and as you guys saw from the title, it's featuring Fashion Nova. I purchased a couple of items from the website, mostly jeans, but I did get a few other pieces as well. So if you're interested in seeing what I ordered and how the items fit on a thicker, curvier girl like myself, then stay tuned.